Hello again, we are back for another Isaac episode. So we just completed another character. Woohoo! For the witness stuff. Now we're getting the nastier stuff here, unfortunately. We're gonna try Kane, see if we can get to that, whatever that is. I assume this is the... Excuse me. Way to go. Our seed here is Y8JMWCS7. That's what I was saying, like, just see, like, if there's, I've heard, like, there's another boss, right? It's like, oh, there's another boss. Excuse me. And, so this boss, I think, comes after Mother, which is the witness, form. So, that's pretty cool. Alright, so, obviously that's going to be the case here for this thing. So, we're just going to go here, get bookworm, get all these books unlocked here. This is going to probably kill us. Alrighty, I knew that was going to happen. I was trying to get there in time, whatever. Our seed here is KFQ40KS4. Yeah, and just go from there with that. Now, I have no clue what to look for on this. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't know if I really want those. The reason why I'm doing this is because, well, then again, those might be pretty good for synergy's sake. Is once I get it, like, establish what this is I'm looking at, try to figure out its mechanics. If it's super hard, I might look up a guide maybe, but then it's like this pretty much like ends any big spoilers for me for the future. So at least if I get to that point again, Kane is just a hit and a miss with me with him for the most part. Might as well. You're coming with me. I don't know, I just prefer regular tiers. The ones that fly around here. Let's see, something topical right now. Let's see. Oh, I heard my this Oktoberfest that I go to is going to open pretty soon. I mean, it's going to be Oktoberfest, of course. It'll be October. But, like, it's nice. Real nice. It'll be 4 months. 4-ish months. Not 4-ish. 6 months. Duh. Can't wait to sample some wine, sample some beers, get tipsy. I wish I could have a brat, but you know, it is what it is. Could be here, but probably not. Didn't think so. Did we get health? Okay. I don't know if I want to go in. Well, why not? Alright. I kind of paid itself. Alright, let me see something here. Okay. I was just thinking, too, about something. You guys ever see those television shows about, like, kids and adults with, like, deformities that have a unique ability? Okay, maybe deformities wouldn't make sense if they got unique ability. It's something that's, like, they're developed with something to where, like, it gives them, like, a super advantage. Like, you kind of hear about, off and on, about child prodigies and, like, being super smart and doing all this chess stuff and going to college at a super young age and everything. People are like, oh, it's in the genes. Well, yeah, very small part of that, really small part of that. You think the genes, I mean, someone with, like, extremely, like, you know, well put together genes for, like, you know, being super smart, stuck in a household at a trailer park, and they have absolutely no room to grow in, that is, those environments, then it's, they can't really grow the function, they kind of succumb to the environment, you know? And then they're not really child prodigies at that point, they're something different in society. But I mean, it's in the sense, I mean, a lot of it has to do, obviously, with psychology. So, like, how you raise a child and how you kind of put things with a child and stuff like that. And get them to things super early in age. And if their willingness to, you know, to do it. Just a bunch of stuff. There's a perfect combination of things that have to happen, not just genes, to, like, facilitate, like, that level of, like, high function of intelligence. Yeah, the genes determine if you're smart or stupid, man. Partly. But, that's not the driving factor, again. Like the book I've read, 30 Million Words, I've talked about in one of my backlog videos. But, yeah, last month. It's how you put, you know, things to a child, you know, talk to a child, interact with a child, stuff like that, to where how they will be much more functional as an adult in the future. Gives them a better chance, that is, not a guarantee, because, you know, life takes its turns, you know, with things. Spider bite. Okay. But in this sense, see, so here's the thing. So going back with 30 million words, just because you don't do those things doesn't mean, like, necessarily your child's gonna end up like, you know, the worst case scenario or not, with how they function stuff and interact with the world. I'm saying in the sense it's a really good blueprint to kind of follow in order to prevent any of those kind of issues to kind of arise. And when I say, you know, there'd be more likely to be child prodigies, you know, kind of following those strategies, you know, in the book, is so in human psychology with this is huge. Okay, hold on a second. I'm kind of getting some tongue twisters here. Got so much stuff going on at once here. So let me back up here. So in my other videos, I've talked about how when, like from the book, if a child is not being interacted the right way, then they can't push themselves to the fullest capacity and beyond that. There's that case, and there's also like cases where it's like they don't have that like intelligence that was built up by being spoke to and interacted by a parent. Like they would have some experience, but there's some households that barely even talk and interact with children, that they actually don't end up dumb, really dumb. And there's science behind that. It's nothing what I made up. It's there. They're more receptible to that. Just like in you know, rich households, it's very similar. It's just how you put it to a child and how you spend time with the child and interact with the child and do things with the child, you know, and just all the sorts of just myriad of things. And how you put things to a child, you know, to their level of understanding. Like our level of understanding is more complex than a child's, to an extent. Like, you know, child uses imagination, adult doesn't so much. Unless you're a man-child, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to say, but, you know, get out of the house. Get out of the house wherever you're at. Blow the stink off you, like my mom used to say. Get outside and blow the stink off you. Also, my dad said that too. Tears are just tears, man. Well, yeah, these child prodigies though, like there's one I saw on YouTube. See, he what was he, like 3 years old or something? He was playing chess and he was like really good. Now, a 3-year-old playing chess is like a significant feat in itself. But then when you have a child that's like doing this little competition stuff and actually does know how to play to an extent, well, not to an extent. This one in particular knew how to play. If you had a 3-year-old that was doing that, not putting the pieces in its mouth or whatever, and just sit down and actually play, like that's huge progress. Huge progress. Gotta start looking for colleges in a couple of years for that kid. Getting Harvard and all that. No, they're not worth as much anymore. But yeah, it's weird. And like I kind of read things about like school districts and stuff, different cities and whatever, like doing this kind of thing when they have no clue about, to an extent, about human psychology. Some places do a really good job with educating students and keeping them healthy and all that. Others are just kind of like inner city stuff that it's like, I'm not getting into that too much, but like they just don't care. Let's just say about kids. They just care about the next paycheck. That doesn't mean like all of them in this, inner city school is like that by any means. I wonder if we get like a spider-like transformation. We get that. I'm saying it's like they're more than likely to do that kind of thing. Undervalue and underappreciate kids of the future. I was a TA for a school years ago. Worked as a TA for the special education class stuff, and no, it didn't bother me or anything. Like, some people, they get bothered by like things like that. So like, see, maybe be more specific, I guess here. So like, growing up, you probably have seen it a lot. It's like a lot of people just avoid all these other, folks that have like a lot of disabilities and stuff, and they just don't care about you. Like, that's the thing. It's like they got all these friends and stuff, and then they then they just shun anyone else that's like in the community of the school that is defective. That's probably a good topic too to talk about, is stuff I've seen with high school about what these students typically do. Like, they try to appear as though that they're there for this person, stuff like that, and they're happy, But then on the surface level, it's like that, and then underneath it, it's just flaunting that you're supposedly understanding of this individual. So, like, a good example in high school, this has happened a couple of times. It's a complex thing too. So like, you got a Skeletor fly here. So see how to put it in words. So like, and I seen this too. So it's kind of hard to describe. So it's kind of like a form of sarcasm, so to speak. So it's like, if this person's like, with this other person, disabled person or something, it's with this, another student or whatever, and they'll be like, they have this kind of unusually higher voice or something to sound like they're just interested in what they're saying and doing, you know what I mean? Trying to sound like as though like they're trying to motivate themselves to like care about you, and they really don't. They don't give two craps. They really don't. They really don't. And they may appear like that, but deep down they just don't care. Now, I don't think it's the case maybe for old people, but like these individuals, something else. And well, anyways, going back to the point here. I'm trying to describe it too at this point. So they put it in a tone they don't normally use, right? It's kind of a sarcastic form of something to where it's like they try to praise you about something. They try to sound like as though they're interested. No, they're not. You can tell right away in their tone that it's something else going on under the surface. But for these individuals, which really sucks, is they can't catch on to that. And they feel like they actually cared about them. No, it's just superficial stuff, and this is how this world is. It's just a bunch of superficial nonsense. You know, social media, and internet especially, is, you know, hiding it to a great degree. But then, yeah, you got kind of that going on, right? Now, when I worked with, you know, disabled students for a short period of time, like. Second here, sorry. I don't know. Oh, I must have damaged my speaker a little bit. Not too bad. Alright, sorry about that. Now for me, like, I put the effort to not be doing that sarcastic kind of tone and uninterested and, you know, I actually put the effort to actually, you know, give them positive feedback and be very sincere of what I believe to be true for this individual. Not this, you know, this generalized, you know, thing I just kind of create out of the air that wasn't really too observant, and then just give a half-butt tone to it. And it sucks. I mean, I see that often on high school and middle school and stuff. Mostly high school. And then I seen stuff too. It's like, I think there was one point I remembered for this one year for the prom king and queen, which that's just a bunch of crap. It is. Because, like, who cares? Like, yeah, it's just for that year, whatever, you know? The rest of the years, like, everyone forgets about you and they got another prom king and queen. Whoop, they do. And they're probably not going to be together by the time high school's over. Rare occurrence for sure. But they had one on there that kind of got me, which was, so typically they always picked the popular kids and stuff like that. And, well, one year they picked somebody different, right? It's like, huh, that's interesting, right? They picked something different. Okay, that didn't kill me. Oh no, I was supposed to go on the old path. Well, that sucks. I gotta restart this here. I'm sorry. I got so distracted here. Our state here is 2V9J HKC9. And so what happened was, the school, it wasn't the school that decided, it was just like, definitely wasn't voted in, I know that, because usually these prom things, like, students would vote it in. This wasn't on the candidate list, for sure, for this, student. And it was a disabled student, too. It's like, you know, read the name, da-da-da, hey, you won, da-da-da-da. And if I recall correctly, they did that, they got her dressed up, da-da-da, you know, pictures, smiles, fake smiles, I mean, excuse me. Gotta be very specific. Fake smiles, crooked smiles, you know. And what was that? What was that? Something popped and then made a noise and went back. Okay. Maybe I enabled the hotkeys or sticky keys or something. I don't know. Anyways, going back with this. So yeah, they did they did all this generic stuff that or generic trashy stuff, and here's the best part out of this is she wasn't officially chosen to be the real king and queen, you know, or I mean the queen, whatever, prom queen. Nope. It was all an act. All an act, because guess what? Who got it? The popular kids. Haha. If I recall, like, there might have been, like, the one that actually won, that was the prom king that was there with her to be, and she was the prom queen. But it was somebody else. Somebody else took her role and got her 15 minutes of fame. You know, stuff like that, you know? It's just like... Now, I do understand, let me be clear, that it's good to, like, kind of get them included and get them the spotlight and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Let me be clear with that. But having said that, it's one thing you talk one way, you do another way, and you pull all this dirty stuff. Or you're talking at them too. It's another thing that they did. They talk at them like they're some animal. And it sucks. It real sucks. And people don't really, a lot of people don't really see through that because, like in my school, because like people were just so desensitized about everything. You see right through it. It's just like disgusting. They pretend to show an interest with things that they do, and then they get clout. Not clout. Clout's something else. They get like some kind of recognition from people around the school. It's like, oh, he's so nice to do that for this disabled person. Da da da. You gotta see right through it, you know. There's always a motive to someone's madness. Always. You always look for that. Everybody's got something, you know, building up there. Now me, I mean, I guess I could say that for everything in life, you know? Like, I could say, like, my sympathies about these individuals and stuff, and then you're thinking, like, oh, there must be something underlying. Like, you're trying to get some recognition out of this video. No. It's my like, kind of sense of understanding with, like, it's not so much with, like, getting recognition and sympathies and sincereness or whatever. I don't care what people think or what I think about, like, things so much. It's just that it's something that I kind of felt that was an issue back then. It probably still is to an extent. I don't know for an extent. I haven't been in like public school in a while, but it's just that for me personally, it's like, it's kind of, to me, it feels kind of equivalent to like scamming an old lady, you know? Scamming an old person from like their money or something, or resources. You know, stealing an opportunity from them. Like just, you know, giving them false hopes and securities. I mean, where are these like popular, you know, kings and queens of proms anymore? Well, they're not like sitting on the president of the United States, you know, desk or anything, right? They're not making like, you know, highly of themselves in society to, I mean, some of them probably are, but like not all of them, you know. And what's happening with these other individuals who, you know, from my school, who's like being put into this placement temporarily for this, you know, false glorification that they perceive it as being good for them, but they have no clue what's going on. it's not their fault. Or they're still stuck in that rut. Do you think they come back for you? No, they don't come back for you. I mean, not for you. You know what I mean? In the sense of like, speaking in terms of like someone, you know. So like, so in terms of someone who is disabled, they, you know, for them it's like, oh, I mean, they would probably forget about it. I don't know. See, I can't really like make that judgment of what's really going on with them, per se. Everybody's different, of course, but it's like, you know, as these people, you know, supposedly move on and, you know, stroke their ego with doing what they did in high school, because these people still stuck in the loop, and none of these people ever visit them again. They don't care. They don't care what happens to you if you're these individuals, you know, being put in the spotlight. You're just used for like temporary inflation of status in school that doesn't really matter because everybody forget about you after high school. Well, not everybody forgets about you. Pretty much, you just fade into the ether. Like most of the people I knew from high school, they're pretty much gone. Not dead. I mean, just gone. I mean, they've been out of my lives ever since I graduated. I wanted nothing much to really do with them, really. Not a great school. I mean, in the sense it's like they're gone, as in I have nothing to do with them anymore. That's it. Now, it's different with other people. It's like, oh, I interact with my high school friends and stuff like that because we're friends. Da, da, da. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, in my sense, it's like, yeah, you know what I mean. But like going back when I was working as a TA, so teacher assistant, at this middle school, like, I just wanted to, like, you know, help children and stuff, and, you know, in the classroom or whatever. And so they had this opportunity for me to work in this special education setting, which it's a first for me for sure, and to work with them like this, and I learned a lot, honestly. I interacted with each of the students. You know, they had their own different, unique, you know, not only personalities, but also like disabilities. So you just have to kind of like, you know, navigate through and try to figure out some things to get things like situated with them. You know, stuff like that. Nothing too heavy duty, but like, and it gives you perspective too of like who has this kind of personality and this kind of like, I want to say defect. It's kind of a strong word. I mean, to say in the sense of like this disadvantage in life, and how we can like remedy it in the classroom with getting things situated. And I've done like one-on-one stuff a couple of times, which is meaning being like a teacher aide that goes along with the student to the classroom to assist them with some tasks that they can't really do for themselves so easily for whatever reason. I wasn't really mad with them. I mean, I might have been a little like little upset for little things that might have happened, but like nothing to where I'm not going to be taking a grudge on them or anything by any means. You do get frustrated in the process because you're trying to like adapt to an environment you're not used to working in, you know what I mean? And like I worked there for a few months, you know, before moving on to my next thing, and trying to see what else. I also helped, you know, a couple students with some of their homework too. got things situated with that as well. So I had kind of an understanding what's going on. I talked in one video about like the BD kids, the behavior disorder, which I've talked about, like how all of us kids back then, even for me too, stayed away from them because of them being unpredictable at times with their violent mood swings and short tempers and stuff, to where they can pretty much stab you in some cases. So that was something I just, you know, I never worked in that setting, so that's a different ball game. So that's out of my league. But I've noticed, like, when it's coming to close of me leaving, I've noticed all these students, and I'm not sure if this is the teacher's idea and decided to have all the students to get along to do it, or like if it was one of the students' ideas and decided to do it. I don't know what the context was. It was hard to say. But like, all of them drew up a bunch of stuff for me. You know, goodbye cards and everything, and they're gonna miss me, and telling me about, like, you know, things they've liked about me and helped them with stuff. And that took me aback. That was the biggest thing that took me back. Because, so, at that time, I didn't have much kind of compassion and understanding that I have today with, like, how these children were. You know, these kind of children were with their disadvantages. But then it's like, I didn't know the full extent of, like, you know, compassion they had too, until like that happened. And then it kind of shows me, it's like, yeah, these people, you know, they do care about you, even if you think they're not consciously there. For some of them, they're still a person, I think, honestly. Well, not think, they are. And kind of looking back now, like in high school, with the stuff that was going on with these students, I see how these people just throw them away like a piece of garbage, like a piece of trash. They don't care about them, they're just using them. That's all they care about, is just using them. Get the next high, get the next, like, popular contest, you know? And they just, they did that. People in my school at the time just did not see through that, because they're just so blind with their ignorance. Just so much stuff going on in that school. Like I said, that town I'm originally from, that hometown, is just not great. It's just been deteriorating more and more since. Well, not since, it's been deteriorating even when I was living there. You know, fortunately, there's a lot of services and stuff that helps with people and stuff with these kind of issues and defects, instead of leaving them, you know, out in the cold so easily. But like I said, it's like, where are all these people who, you know, they were so, like, concerned and, you know, so interested with what these individuals have to say and do, and I mean, it's basically treating them like second class when you do that sarcastic stuff. Using you. Imagine just using a human being like that, just for your own advantage like that. Especially an individual in that kind of disadvantaged state. Just a monster is what you are. You gotta be very sincere with them and not just, like, talk down at them like that, or like use them for your own advantage. Oops. think this is Beelzebub. Alright, we gotta be very careful here. Alright, one more bomb, we should do it. There we go. Alright, that's pretty good. I mean, for range, I guess not so much. Excuse me. So, I guess that's just kind of my 2 cents with that. That kind of like aspect of things. I think like I'm not the only one that kind of feels that, honestly. With how that kind of thing is kind of perturbs people. Now you might say it's like, well, what about you interacting with these people? Well, that's the thing. It's just like, maybe in some cases too with other people, it's just they don't have time, they don't have ways to get there, they don't know what they're doing, where they're living, you know, myriad of things. What I'm talking about is like specifically these individuals who are doing this. They just don't care about them. Period. Even if they had access, and time, and everything, and resources to actually do that. Kind of like I talked about one of my backlog videos about got YouTubers who they may appear as though they're doing a good thing by donating stuff to whoever, right? But then you always look under the surface, like the Mr. Beast stuff. I just got my I just tipped the house, this pizza driver, you know, or we're gonna winner gets the island or whatever, you know? Yeah, whatever. But most of the money's coming from sponsorships and hyping up people and views. Look at all this big stuff you can't get. I'm going to find random people to come with me to be very excited about this. Which, I mean, you have to find someone that's excited to do something, I guess. Otherwise, you know, you'll be bummed out. I don't like this $100,000 ice cream. No. And I'm lactose intolerant. That's why I don't like it. No, you don't do that, I guess. I mean, not guess. You don't find someone that's lactose intolerant and give them a $100,000 ice cream. You try. Just throw it at you. And like I said, it's just all that under the surface stuff, right? It's like, oh, we're going to plant trees in Missouri. Or wherever. I don't think it was Missouri they were planting them. They might have. Yeah, for every so many views we get, we're going to plant this many trees. How about you just do it? Don't encourage people to drive up your revenue and all that. You know, if you're going to do something to save like the environment or help it, like just do it. Oh, but I need extra money so I can live comfortably and do even more bigger stuff. I can buy this whole grocery of items out of the store and yeah, I'm gonna pay the stores and all that for screwing up the supply chain there, and now they have to wait for more stuff to come in and delaying like a town from getting all those resources. Not a big hairy deal. I'm probably kind of ranting a little bit with that, those YouTubers like that, particularly LA Beast, but not LA Beast. I'm sorry. Mr. Beast. No, LA Beast is fine. He does a lot of good content with like trying old food and stuff like that. He gets. He's harmless. Doing all these challenges, he usually throws up and everything. No, there's nothing wrong with LA Beast. I get those two mixed up, so I apologize if I was confusing people here. Yeah, but it seems like though, and when I was in high school, at the time, like, there wasn't really much for social media and everything, and therefore, not as much people are doing this kind of, like, you know, malicious act. I call it malicious. It may be a harsh word, man, but it's definitely malicious. It's not delicious, either. And yeah, it's just, I think with the advent of the internet taking off further with devices, there's a lot more of that. A lot more. That's why I stay off of Twitter and don't browse so much on YouTube and stay away from Facebook and whatever else. Oh, the news, that's right. Big one there for sure, the news. It's just then we got another piece of news that's just slightly bit more new. We'll give you updates throughout this whole time. I don't know about you guys. You guys ever feel like you've been disadvantaged or used by somebody for like some kind of a recognition or sentimentality thing? Heck, like when I was in not community college, not so much, university, like I was in this club and stuff like that. They try to make you feel like you're like included, but you're not included. You get what I'm saying? And I seen a few students that were like that too. Well, me in my case, like I was kind of new to the place. I didn't really know anybody, you know, whatever. New in the club, so that's different, I guess. But for me, I can see right through that because they do that with regular people too. Some people like that. Blah 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 blah, and just tell you, you know, how interested they are and with you and and all this other stuff and whatever. College is over. Forget you. You're gone. You're gone out of my memories. Forget you. Just ghost you so hard. You're gone. And they're all gone. That's not a surprise, you know. They don't care. You're just a phase. Why they're there. I guess that's just pretty common. Maybe. Just a phase. Dad's lost coin, huh? How do you remedy that? I don't know. I really don't. I don't have the answers for that. I'm not a psychologist. I may be speaking about psychology things, about stuff I read in books written by psychologists. I don't hold a PhD or anything. Though if I did, like, I'll be doing other stuff than this. Though I've had conversations with a psychologist off and on, about, you know, just psychology things, you know. I was like, yeah, I was reading a psychology manual. I did. It was like over 800 pages. Just reading stuff. Just talking with him randomly. And the psychologist. And yeah, just reading all this basic stuff. Pretty much. Because like I told him too, it's like, I took an intro psychology class and then a couple other psychology classes at school. Not for like psychology's sake. Oh, I hope we can get another bomb because I just realized something here. Hail Mary. Oh my God, don't do this to me. I shouldn't be looking for secret rooms like this. Alright, come on, we need a bomb. Hallelujah. Paid out just in time. Yay! Yeah, we just talk about psychology things and whatever. Pretty chill. With this COVID stuff. Oops. That threw me off for a second. And with this COVID stuff too, especially, it's like, I suppose we could just finagle a bomb with that too, the second thing. I'm still gonna take this in case we get Guppy's tail. Yeah, we just talk about kind of psychology things and whatever. Like she has a psychology degree and I don't. But I have a pretty good base understanding to some degree of like just stuff. Kind of nice. We got here. Curse of the Tower, huh? Demon Baby, alright. It's a little better. But yeah, I mean, it's just a phase, man. It's just a phase. He wasn't there to be there forever with us, man. I don't know, I've been pretty much a loner for most part of my life. It's kind of easy somewhat to spot that kind of like stuff that happens. Like I said, don't like take it, you know, don't be taking it for granted that they're not gonna be there for whatever. And if they try to like talk down at you or whatever, just kind of like let them know, hey, I know what you're doing, and I don't appreciate it too much. You know, maybe something a little bit more tamer, I guess, if you're more close to the person or whatever, or new with them. They just keep just using you like dirt or whatever. Just leave the heck away from them. Forget it. One person I had to deal with years ago, very similar like that, only he's a narcissist. Oh yeah, I guess they're, to some degree everybody's got some form of narcissism. But I mean, for this guy, he's got something truly bubbling in the surface. False persona for sure, but like, yeah, he was doing some pretty malicious stuff, and I just kind of got out of there. Got away from that person. Yeah. Man, what else? Like, I still have the cards, I think, somewhere from that middle school. Those middle school children. Which is pretty cool. Hope they're doing well. I mean, I'm assuming they're doing pretty well to some degree. I mean, not to some degree, you know what I mean, in general. Okay, so we found our item room. We've pretty much found all these other rooms. I think we just go fight the boss right now, really. We got 1/3 Guppy here. Our damage is still not great. We still base damage. Got to scratch my arm here, and I know gonna get hit, but whatever. Like, if we didn't have this book, like, we would have been a little bit more anxious about this run, but I think we should be fine. Got Brimstone Boy here now. Alright, the other Brimstone, alright. Alright, fortunate enough to get a devil deal here again. It's a quarter. And it's spectral tears. Might as well. It's piercing shots. I don't know what a quarter's going to do for us in 2 floors. A little underwhelming. I guess that's my little philosophy with that, I guess. Like I say, it just sucks for those people. They don't realize it's just getting advantage taken from them. I mean, it shows like the breakdown of society, you know? It's just like, not that directly, but it's like, it's just one of like a myriad of things that just kind of accelerates. And with everything that's going on, like Twitter and Facebook and everything, everyone fighting and causing a lot of clout and stuff. Like, it's crazy. I feel like just digging up my yearbook and just seeing where these boastful kings and queens are now in their lives. It sounds a little envious, isn't it? A little jealousy? No. It's more like in the lines of, it's a free card over there, huh? It's more in the lines of, like, I guess just seeing what they're doing in life. So I kind of look at other classmates I used to go to school with years ago. Alright, we're getting a little touchy here. There we go. Is this like a... Alrighty. I had a weird feeling that was the card. Other cards, Yugs. And we lost more health than we should, but... We're out. Isaac! I don't know how you guys would handle that situation. I guess perhaps for me, if I would have got back, if I would be there at that time, I would probably call them out, even in the gymnasium where they were doing that publicly, with that king and queen stuff. Tell them, ask them what they're doing and like, why are you doing this to this individual? Do you not care about them for real? And be like, oh, we care about them. That's why you're having this thing going on. Huh. Don't be a sourpuss. Go along with the joke. You non-popular person. I should have built up a lot of like morals up to high school, though. That's for sure. And understanding of things. Like the people I knew from high school, what they were and stuff, became like polar opposite. Well, most of them polar opposite of what they become. Like, they got more into like crime and drugs mostly, because that's what the towns consist of. And I ran into one I went to school with a couple of years ago who, I guess he's been doing all right. I mean, he's living in that town of mine, same hometown that we grew up in. Doesn't help, but he's trying to find ways to, adapt to things. He's not doing hard drugs or anything weird. He's not being a bad father. He's got a wife and kids, so, hey, we've all been there with, how the struggles in life. That sucks. I'm just gonna close for that on this video. It might be a little, like, kind of a ranty thing. But that's just my philosophy with like that kind of stuff. Just be sincere with, you know, people with disadvantages. Don't be like using them for your own personal gain and stuff, you know. And you see someone like doing that with somebody in school, you know, public school or whatever, just call them out on that. This town was like, if you really cared, like, you'd be doing all this other stuff with them and help them out and stuff like that, and not be like doing this one day, this one event thing, and just forget about them like they're a piece of garbage. Yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.